Hi everyone, welcome. Eric Rodebois, another 5 Minutes with Eric. And this morning I had a really interesting experience. I drove out to Hialeah, which for those of you who don't know, Miami is an industrial working class town a little bit north, and a lot of really cool businesses, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of warehouse space, and you'll see like big trucks, and you'll see a lot of like tiles and cabinet and home furnishing manufacturers and stuff like that. We had a client that was they made cabinetry and countertops, great business. So anyways, I'll back it up a little bit. I love entrepreneurs. It's why I love my job. It's what gets me out of bed in the morning. It's why being a lawyer is fun to me. It's why I love coming to work. Like, how many people can say they love coming to work? So a couple of days ago, about a week ago, I get an email from my friend. She's a lawyer I know through the Coral Gables Bar Association, and she's an employment lawyer. And she forwards me an email and says, Eric, please meet this gentleman. And this gentleman is in need of a business lawyer. So I said, no problem, thank you so much for the referral. And I gave the guy a call, and the guy and I started talking, and the guy wants to start a medical staffing business, which is pretty cool. And so basically he's going to be in the recruiting position, he'll be paid a percentage, and he'll help them, and people in the medical industry who need employees, okay? And so I said, how long have you been in business? He goes, oh, well, I just started. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, April 1st. I'm like, oh, that's exciting. And so I said, do you have a lawyer? He goes, yeah, I have a lawyer. I'm like, really? You have a lawyer? Then what were you doing? He's like, oh, I was just searching around online. I sent this lady an email. She connected me with you. And I don't really need anything right now, so there's no real reason for us to talk. And I said, well, I tell you what, I disagree with you. I'll drive out to Hialeah. Let's do it next week, which ended up being today. And I'll drive out there and I'll sit with you and I'll discuss with you my philosophy of business and my philosophy of being a business lawyer, okay? And so sure enough, I drove out there and the gentleman's waiting for me. And I'll just tell you, I'm 38 years old. I feel like an old man. And this gentleman was all of 20. 20 years old, young kid. And I say to him, so what do you do? He's like, oh, well, I have a day job and my full-time, and he actually works in the medical industry. And so this is part-time, after work, after hours, and it's kind of like a passion project. And so he said, yeah, I get everything I need online. I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, I went to this website and you can just download contracts. I pay a little bit of money and then I send them to this lawyer I found online, and he's in Texas, and he'll revise the contracts for about $500 a piece. And I said, well, that's really cool. He goes, so I'm really sorry if I'm wasting your time. You can just go if you want. And I go, no, you're not wasting my time. Tell me more about your business. And then in exchange, I'll tell you about mine. So I asked him, who would you like to meet? And he said, I would like to meet other people in the staffing industry who can teach me what I need to know to start my own business. I go, cool, I'll make 3 introductions today. And I did. And they already have 2 meetings set up. And I said, who else would you like to meet? And he goes, well, I think I need to know an accountant because I don't know anything about money or numbers. I said, great, I know lots of accountants. I made 3 introductions. Introduced him to the cheap, the medium, and the expensive. And then he stops and he says, well, why are you helping me? And I said, I'm helping you because someday you're going to refer me business or you're going to hire me yourself. He said, what do you mean? I said, I love entrepreneurs, but quite frankly, I don't love entrepreneurs in their 20s. I want entrepreneurs in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. And he says, well, why? And I said, because you don't know what you don't know. You've never been sued. You've never had a client stiff you on a bill. You've never had an employee quit and set up a competing business and try and steal your clients. You've never had a partner who you didn't trust who took all the money out of the bank account. You've never had a joint venture go wrong. You've never had a landlord try and evict you. You've never had a lender try and sue you for a loan. You've never had all these things that unfortunately happen in real life. In real life, not every employee is honest. Not every partner is the right person to partner with. Not every landlord wants to be your landlord. Not every lender is reasonable. Not every client is honest and pays their bills on time. So when you come across these problems, you start to realize, wait a minute, maybe I should have had a lawyer in the beginning. Maybe I should have a lawyer draft a non-compete. Maybe I should have a lawyer draft an operating agreement with my partner. Maybe I should have a lawyer negotiate the lease with my landlord. Maybe I should have a lawyer that I can call and bounce ideas off of or keep on retainer. These are things that a 20-year-old who's just starting their very first business can't know. And it's not their fault. I'm not mad at him for it. He can't know it yet. So I was really nice. I told him my philosophy of business. I drew him out the diagram of the wheel. And I know that I will hear from him in the future. And at the very least, I'm paying it forward, mentoring a good kid. So thank you to all of you out there in EPGD land. I'll talk to you soon.